Hi guys, Herbert from Selective Focus Photography. So you finally purchased your camera. So what do you do? Well, you take images. And for me, I wanted a camera that was simple enough so that I could learn and take beautiful images while I learn. Now the Canon T6 is a budget basic camera. But as you can see, these images look awesome to me. I mean, even the video functioning of the camera is simple enough and easy enough where you can take really good pictures. So, in my first month or so, I was able to take awesome images, great video. And the way I did it was very simple. I looked at a lot of tutorials on how to set up a camera. And after a lot of trial and error, I found what works for me. And I'd like to relate that to you in this video. Maybe you can refine it and do it the way it's best for you, but basically, it just comes down to what you really want to do with your photography skills and how to develop those skills. Now, as far as video, the quality is not the best, but it's an awesome camera to begin with. And this is how I started in my journey to becoming a photographer.
Once again, I must tell you that I have not had any formal training. I am doing this on my own. If I can do it on my own, I'm quite sure that you could also. Okay, guys, I'd like to run through how I set my camera up. After a lot of trial and error and a bunch of tutorials, I finally come up with something that works well for me. And the first thing I like to do is to show you that these settings are not permanent settings, but they're settings as I learn to help me learn how to do everything in manual. The first setting is my ISO. Now, I like to take stills, and taking stills to have the best quality to reduce noise is you have to keep your ISO low at 100. So what I usually do in all situations is I'll take my auto ISO. Now you can press the Q button right here and scroll up and go to your ISO settings. And I usually have, when I start out on a shoot, I always set it on auto ISO. And then what I do is I take some test shots, 10 or 12 different locations, different lighting schemes, and I see where the ISO range is on auto, and then I try to craft my ISO range around there. And but basically, I'll take a series of shots on auto. Then what I'll do is once that's done, and you can get to ISO by just pressing this button right here, the ISO button, and I'll go to 100, and I leave it at 100. Now, whenever I change scenes, I'll do it again. Simple, easy. Hit the ISO button, put it back on auto. Our easy settings change. Nothing that's too hard. Now, my second setting is my white balance. And I've tried to do a white balance. Like once again, you can go through the Q button and scroll down and over, and then click set. I've tried to do it manually by judging whether it's a daylight scene, whether it's shade or cloudy, or the different artificial lights, and flash. And what I found that works best in all situations is to keep it on auto white balance. Either auto white balance here, and you can get to the second by hitting your display button, and it'll take you to, or you hit set. No, that's custom. Okay, you go back to auto white balance and hit the display button, and it'll give you a choice: auto white balance white priority, or auto white balance ambience priority. Now, for me, I mean, you can do anything. If you want your scene to have a warmer color, a warmer tone, then you can use the priority. But I like mine to be, and you can get to that same menu by hitting white balance. I like to keep mine on strictly white priority. And I figure I found that I've gotten the best results from that setting. So now hit that, we'll close out that. And so those are the two settings that that pretty much I deal with every time I have a shoot. And my auto white balance, I just leave alone. I don't even mess with it. The next setting is the focusing system, and I'll hit this menu right here, and you can do it like that and scroll down and over and hit it like this. Or let's close back out. We'll go back to menu. We'll close out. Or you can just hit right here. It has AF. Hit that button, and it'll take you to that menu. Now, I leave mine in AI servo at all times, and the only time that I will take it off AI servo is if I want to move my focus within the frame. Then I go to one shot, because one shot allows you to move the focusing wheel and move the, but most of the time AI servo is pretty good. I've got it one center point right in the middle, and I go with that all the time, and I've been getting pretty good results with that. Now, those are the three basic settings that I have. Now, in using AI servo, however, you need to have it effectively used. You have to put it a back button focus. And it took me, it took me at least 7 months, 8 months to find out exactly how to do it. I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm gonna give it to you the easiest way you can do it. Now, what I do is when I go into menu, as you can see right here, I'm on my custom settings right here. Now, the easiest way to do it would be to put it in your custom settings. But right now, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 settings, and I put the ones that I have to hunt for the most. But to create your back button focus, to take it off the shutter button, all you have to do is go to the third wrench icon right here, and you go down one. That's the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one is custom function. If you press set, and this is where your back button focus is. Now this button right here, when it's enabled, this button right here, when it's enabled, then this is the button that you'll use. It has a minus sign on it right here. Yeah, that's the button. Now, all you have to do is just click on it, set. Now that activates it. When you get the camera, it's going to be set right here. It'll be set right here. That's the way it'll look. It's tab number 8, and it'll have a 0 under it. Now, what you do is you hit set to activate it. Then you go down to number 1 and activate that. Now, your back button focus is enabled, and you can use this button to create your focus. Now, the reason why you do that, AI Servo, in conjunction with back button focus, would allow you to track whatever subject is moving in your frame continuously. Now, this camera is not a very good camera for that type of work, but it'll do in a pinch. Now, those are the 4 main settings that remain on my camera all the time.
Okay, guys, that's about all I have for today. I mean, doing these videos is really hard for me because I'm a still photographer. But in order to place my images before you and my journey before you, I have to work on my videography skills and my on-camera skills. I hope that it's not too bad and that you enjoy or got some type of value from this presentation. I I enjoy doing it and I enjoy taking the images. And for my money, I believe that getting the Canon T6, the Rebel T6, was the best investment that I could get. And I would recommend it to anyone. But if you have more money to invest in your first camera, there are a lot of options out there. And you can expand your capabilities by getting a better or more expensive piece of equipment. But if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, thank you guys for watching.